Anytime you're ready.
Yeah. Uh, Oscar, you can click the presentation when you are ready.
Yeah, presentation mode.
I give the control to you already.
Okay. Hello everyone. Have you ever feel worried and didn't know what to do or prepare at this COVID-19 uncertain time? There were stories variously of thoughts. Lots of suggestions and advice were given by many sides, including good and bad ones. Nevertheless, today I would like to tell you one thing, and this one thing is that wearing a mask shouldn't be just for medical personnel, but everyone. In other words, wearing a mask has more advantages than drawbacks, and I'm here to tell you why. I was one of those Asian people who is quite sensitive to virus and sickness. When the COVID-19 cases emerged in my own country, I immediately followed the instruction from the official. Wash my hand with alcohol gel and wearing a mask, keep social distance from people. In later periods, I noticed that my country where wearing a mask is a normal practice for people has a significantly lower number of cases of COVID-19 than a country where it is not. So I decided to do some research about it and I found out that wearing a mask really helps. This pandemic is what everyone is facing right now. It is very crucial for people to know the fact of wearing a mask, not just assumptions and false claims from unverified sources. There are three main points we would like to discuss today. First, wearing a mask is essential. Second, wearing a mask is ineffective. Third, case study of countries where wearing a mask result in lower infected cases. Wearing a mask is essential. According to the World Health Organization or WHO, on June 5th, they recommend the general public to wear a fabric mask or face shield to reduce the widespread of COVID-19. There are two types of masks. First, surgical mask or what we call medical mask. People with above 60 or think that they're at risk in getting infected with COVID-19 should wear medical mask. And also people that working in a medical testing area should also wear medical mask even if they're not working directly with COVID-19 patients. Here is a picture show how to wear a mask safely. First, wash your hand before touching the mask. Second, inspect the mask for a hole or tear. Third, find a top size or where the metal piece or zip edge is. Fourth, ensure the color size spaced outward. And five, place the metal piece over your nose. Cover your mouth, your chin, Adjust the mat to your face without leaving any gap on the side. And 8. Avoid touching the mask. And so how to display the mask safely? First, remove the mask from behind the ear or head. And keep your mask away from your user face while removing it. And then discard immediately after use, preferably into a closed bin. And then wash your hand after discard. Second type of mask is fabric mask. They should have 3 layers. Inner layer to absorb, middle layer act as a filter, and outer layer made from a non-absorbent material like polyester. So here is a picture show you how to properly clean your mask. First, clean your hand before removing the mask, and remove the mask by the strip behind the ear or head. Pull the mask away from your face. Remove the mask by step when taking out the bag, and sew the mask in a clean plastic. Wash the mask in a soap or detergent, preferably with hot water at least once a day, and then clean your hand after removing the mask. medical evidence show that both types of mask really help. Mask prevent proteins ACE2 in our nose that will help the carrier COVID-19 virus into our body. And on the right side, the picture show why everyone should wear a mask. First, if you don't wear the pants and someone pee on you, you basically 100% getting wet. But if you wear the pants, even if someone pee on you, earlier part it might get to you. But if both of you wear the pants, even if one guy pee on you, you won't get wet.
Okay, now let's talk about why wearing a mask is not effective enough to prevent the COVID-19 transmission. Well, to put it clear, the simple idea is that there is no clear evidence for any kind of mask to reduce the virus to transmit in the public. Let's move the focal point to the research area first. According to Dr. Carling, he is the epidemiologist at Hong Kong University. Any masks are not the perfect public health tool to prevent the virus transmission. And this is not the only case for the COVID-19. And it means that any kind of virus. Well, because general public are not worn any kind of mask correctly. According to the Journal of Evidence-Based Medicine, this is the study done to show the effect of N95 respirator and the surgical mask against the influenza. And the results show that there is no significant difference, meaning that if you are wearing or not wearing the mask, surgical mask or N95, there's still the normal chance for people to get infected. Another research also suggests the same conclusion, that there is no significant difference when wearing N95 or surgical mask or medical mask, and this from the Journal of American Medical Association. Why is that? Let me emphasize you again. If the mask is not worn properly, as you can see from my friend's presentation here, if you are wearing this mask like this, your mask is not covering your nose enough. So ACE cells can bring the COVID-19 into your ourselves. But so which mean it means that general public are not wearing it very correctly. But in case that for the doctor case, they are wearing it properly and correctly, so there's still less chance for the virus to infect themselves. And even though you are wearing it correctly, but if you use your hand to touch your eyes, your mouth, and your face, there's still a high lot of chance for COVID-19 or any kind of virus to infect yourself. And what about WHO? What WHO said about this issue? On the WHO side, there is still no evidence whether it is medical or any kind of fabric mask to really help to prevent the transmission of COVID-19. But what WHO announced is that medical masks should be reserved for the healthcare worker, the frontline healthcare worker. This is what Mike Ryan's speech gave to the press. He is the executive director of WHO. He gives the answer to the press on February 24, 2020. The press asked him that where should the mask be given to? And he answered that question that the surgical mask should be given to the ones that make the most benefits to our country. And it is the frontline healthcare worker. Well, simply because surgical masks are running in the short supply. According to the Jerome Adams, he also said that general public should use fabric mask instead of the surgical mask. And surgical masks should be conserved only for the healthcare frontline worker. Otherwise, the country will be chaos because most of the frontline healthcare workers don't have enough surgical masks to use to treat the patients.
In this point, we will talk about case study of countries where wearing a mask results in lower infected cases. And to support this, some nations, including mostly in Asian countries, have started introducing a policy that their citizens should wear masks, and temporary results show that these countries with the advice have had lower rate of infection. And we first looking at evidence from Newman 2020. This is a line chart indicating a number of people who are infected by masks encouraged and not encouraged. Sorry. There's something we should pay attention to, and that is most of Eastern world countries such as Hong Kong and Singapore, where are located far closer to China, the origin of this pandemic, have much fewer cases of confirmed infections, and it is quite convincing that MS has a high potential for reducing the virus spread. It's not going. Okay. To be more precise, let's what? To be more precise, let's take a look at the sample of no COVID-19 related death country. For successful Asian countries, more people will consider countries such as South Korea, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, but there is a country with at most 91% of people wearing a mask compared to the UK with only 16% due to Statista, and that is Vietnam. Vietnam has accomplished to deal with this disease with no reportedly single death, and there have been just 350 infected cases in total. According to Guideways, an infected doctor, if you have unreported or uncontrolled community transmission, then we will be seeing cases in our hospital, people coming in with chest infections, perhaps not diagnosed. That has never happened, he said. And the reason behind it that the government take this seriously at the early stage even before the first case was detected, and people in the Vietnam are fully cooperating by wearing masks. Here is South Korea's number of reported cases in red and Italy's in blue. This demonstrates, for example, South Korea, where a country announced a guidance of wearing a mask. South Korea at first has a rapid community spread that recorded as high as the trajectory in Italy in the first few weeks. But after the announcements during February 2020, everything changed drastically. A number of confirmed cases have been decreasing, and in reverse, Italian infection rate has skyrocketed horribly. With respect to Thai perspective, our survey indicates a number of MUSC students wearing a mask under the situation. Here are some surveys of what students think about wearing masks, and it shows that many students care about situation. First thing first, more than 4/5 of them have an opinion on the importance of wearing masks. The second pie chart tells that approximately 80% of them willingly wear masks when going somewhere. Next, both surgical masks and face masks are allowed the same percentage. Lastly, almost everyone considers that masks should be compulsory during this pandemic. Now I will first recap the point of what we talked about so far. Wearing a mask is essential. Next, wearing a mask is effective. And lastly, the case study of countries where wearing a mask results in lower infected cases. In conclusion, we should wear masks despite many opinions from many sides. Whether wearing a mask helps to prevent COVID-19 or not, since the number of infected are proof that we need to wear masks during this pandemic time. Thank you.
All right, we've gone way over time, 13:22.
Sorry.
We got to do it in 12 minutes, please. Okay, the biggest critique that I have is this does not sound persuasive. So there are two avenues, two ways to deal with this. One, simply change it to an informative speech dealing with the issue of, are masks really beneficial or not? Today we want to inform you about this issue and what we think. And in conclusion, yeah, the mask is essential. Just put that in your outline, and because I'm not getting much emphasis on this debate, I'm not hearing persuasive words and tone. We were concerned about this, so is a mask. It's not coming out that way. I'm not seeing an argument. Yeah, you got the word counter argument in there, and you got two sides of it. It's just not coming out in a really persuasive manner. Simple solution: go to your outline and make it an informative speech. The other solution, you need to use your PowerPoint and your words to highlight, build up that this is a debate. Is it really essential? Is it not essential? Counter argument. I'm not getting that. So I'm going to leave that up to you. What do you think, Win?
Yeah, I think maybe we have to talk with my friend and
Okay, it's simple. It's a simple solution to make it informative. There's no shame in that. It's just not. It's the persuasive speeches are slightly more difficult, but it's not coming out in a. If you listen to yourself and review your video, it's not coming out clearly in a highly persuasive manner. Both of these solutions are not. Neither are difficult. Of course, it's simple to convert this into an informative speech. Okay, and and uh, because I'd be wary about this for the final, it might be downgraded a bit for, it's not really coming out persuasive.
yeah, I
Okay,
understand.
I have to tell the truth. I do. I do know that you have done good research and good work. I'm not downgrading that at all. Okay, I'm going to be generous in the grading of speech 3, which is not graded yet, because I'm going to have the same critique when I grade your speech 3. I'm not done with that yet. So you're not failing. No. All right, boss, you're not prepared. You're reading. It's monotone. You got to pick it up a little bit. Okay, so relax. But a little bit of practice, and remember this in the future in a public speaking situation or even a Zoom meeting. Practice a little bit. Know what you're doing. Do the work, and you'll be able to deliver with a little more power. All of you, but especially you, boss. It's coming out a little monotone. Yeah, I know. Maybe we're stressed out. We got a lot of work. I know that. So now the simple solution: Win, Oscar, boss. Just retype your outline and just you know just make it informative. Okay, what's informative? We're gonna talk about, is wearing a mask essential, and we want to inform the audience about whether it is or not. And nobody's going to know that it was formally a persuasive speech. Okay, all right.
Yes, yeah.
That's a simple solution. The slightly more complex, and it's not that difficult, is to really build that up with your PowerPoint and your persuasive words. But we're running out of time, so you can do this in an hour, okay, or less. You can simply go to that outline, retype, make it. Your purpose is to inform. If you do that, and get rid of the word counter argument and take it out of. I would take it out of the PowerPoint also. You don't have to say counter argument, but you are presenting the counter argument, and you're simply telling us it's useful. Informative speeches can have a persuasive flavor to them. So this would easily be classified as an informative speech with some purpose, and it is slightly persuasive. There's sometimes a fine line between these two types of speeches. However, in the grading aspect, if it's not truly persuasive, it falls down a little bit in scoring a persuasive speech. Okay, I'm sorry I can't make it any more clear than that. Oscar, you could. The hook is really not delivered with power. It's kind of like you're reading it, and the hook really demands a little bit of emphasis. What do I mean, grab our attention a little bit. Okay, take a look at this issue. Should we, there's ways to do that we've discussed. Okay, it's when you this the speech will be more interesting with a stronger start. Good demonstration. I like that. Without a doubt, you've done some solid research, brought in a little viewpoints, and avoid speaking too fast. Then it gets even more monotone too fast. So I think, boss, you weren't your part was a little bit slow. You can cut a little. You can probably cut a minute out of yours. Try to get it to 12 minutes, please. I don't know how many points they'll take off if it goes overtime. Technically, it's 1 point for every 10 seconds. So if you go 12 minutes and 10 seconds, 12 minutes and 20 seconds, I don't see a problem. But if you're going 13 minutes, yeah, really keep it under 12:20 if you want to avoid that problem. And technically, 12 minutes. Okay. When you can also project with mouth your words, use your mouth to form those words and carefully work, but not slow, but use your mouth to enunciate. Today I want to tell you about, all right, it's coming out a little bit. Still, you speak intelligently, and all of you have done a good job, so survey, I like the survey. I wouldn't want to cut that out. You can go through it. You did go through it quickly. You got a lot of information. It's hard. This, people go to weekend seminars and write. It's a complicated issue, even though it seems like it'd be pretty simple. So continue. It's a useful speech. By the way, the World Health Organization guy, he's well qualified. He's not a physician, but he's got several degrees in health and in actual research. So he is probably qualified. However, I think he is not ethical. Do you agree with that? Yeah? Win? Hello? Are you awake?
Yeah. I just reading the line message from my family.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, we're talking about the head of the World Health Organization. Do you feel that he is corrupt?
Yeah, I
I
see.
do.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, not because of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump has highlighted that because I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump says by any means. Um, it's funny. I mean, two people can lie, and I think both of these people. Now, I, I don't know. Oh, that would have been an interesting issue, is China and the origin and all of that. Anyway, okay. Uh, make those simple changes. I know that you guys got piles of work, so keep up the good work. Uh, submit that to the final exam, please. Okay. All right. If time is precious, retype your outline. The final the final exam consists of just the outline and the video. So you may PowerPoint is not necessary. PowerPoint, don't put it in there. It'll confuse the grader. The outline and the video. And PDF format is great for the outline. Okay. Does not have to be submitted to turn it in. I believe my instructions were clear. So stay tuned for any updates online, and just in case there's any problem with your files and all that, keep your line turned on in case there's any issues. And there might be one more little quick short journal in this course, so I'll advise you. Now, if you do not want to come to the 12 o'clock class, you want to take this time to revise and record, and you don't want to come to that class, you don't have to. I'm just going to be looking at some videos and focusing on the people that need a little more feedback. Okay? So I don't think you need to be there unless you really want to. It's just going to be more of the same, and it might not really be essential. Uh, so I want to thank you for your good work and your patience. And I want to let you know I'm working to catch up on the grading. So I want to thank you for your patience on my part. We're all living in uncertain times and challenged. You might want to put that in there, living in uncertain times. We want to know, put that on one of the slides. It doesn't have to take any time. We're living in uncertain times. We want to know the truth. So let's talk about this and let's find out. Let's inform you about a little bit more about masks and the value. Okay? All right. Are you coming to class at 12 o'clock or not?
Yeah, I am free, so I might be coming to the class.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to work with whoever's there. I might end it early if we're all done and all that. But if you don't show up, you may want to take this time right now to finish this up. You could do it. You can do it in an hour. Okay. It might be actually your time right now. You could take 1 or 2 hours, finish this all up, and you're done. Okay. All right. Now I might ask you for one more journal about your, reflecting on the course. Okay, and you can do that 350 words or so in 45 minutes or so. Okay, I know you got a lot of work, but I have a few requirements and all that. So keep your line open for this. It may be coming. All right. Did you guys do the survey that I linked that I said in line?
Yeah,
that I shared with you?
I already
Thank
done
you.
it.
Thank you. All right, good work. I was late on that. My friend sent it to me a few days ago, and I forgot to send it. So, Boss and Oscar, do that survey. You can do it. How many minutes? 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes, just choice.
Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Oscar, Boss, do the survey for my friend. It would be greatly appreciated by him. All right, I want to thank you once again for contributing and wish you all the best. I believe that this course and the skills that we've learned will help us in the future. So let me reclaim the host. All right. Do you have any other questions or comments? No. Good. We'll see you when we see you. Don't worry if you don't come at 12 o'clock. All right. You have a great summer and check the line on the scoring. I'll update you.